Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we really get into the sources you send us, digging out those surprising facts, those insights that just make you feel like, okay, now I get it. Today we're looking at something probably sitting in your kitchen right now, often overlooked, but the source material we're diving into suggests it holds secrets way beyond just flavor. We're talking about the humble clove.
Yeah, most of us think baking, maybe mulling spice, but our main source here, Beyond the Brain on YouTube, makes some really big claim about its hidden power. And specific Saturday ritual.
That's right. And our job today is to unpack how this, the common botanical treasure, it comes from the Syzygium aromatic native to the Maluku Islands, the spice island. How it's presented as much more than just something for cooking. The source positions it as this ancient, but also really relevant for energetic protection, personal transformation. It's this blend of old wisdom and, honestly, concepts that sound pretty modern, almost like a forgotten science. Okay, let's get into it then. The source says, right away, clove is almost like a spell. That's pretty bold, right? So, besides food, how were ancient cultures supposedly using?
Well, the source paints this picture of global use, showing it was definitely seen as more than just flavor. Like in ancient India, cloves were apparently part of purification ceremonies. Imagine that. Then you've got ancient China. Servants had to chew clove to purify their breath before seeing the emperor, which sounds simple, but the source calls it a powerful metaphor for cleansing on, multiple levels.
Oh, interesting. Not just physical breath.
Exactly. And then over in Africa, they apparently use cloves to anoint protective charm. And in the Arab world, widely believed to ward off evil spirits. So you see this consistent thread, right? Energetic protection.
Definitely.
And what's really cool is how its shape, its physical form, played into it. That slender stem, the round head. The source says it's like a sacred nail.
Nail. Okay.
Yeah. And that directly connected to using it as a sealing nail in rituals. The whole idea was to close energetic doors, kind of like creating a boundary where negativity or darkness couldn't enter. So it was presented as very practical, energetic.
Okay, so not just a symbol like carrying a lucky charm. It was active. Did they do things with it?
Oh, absolutely. The source talks about Indonesian shamans, for instance. They didn't just carry cloves, they actually burned them in ritual circles. And the point wasn't just mood lighting, It was literally to open the air and invite good spirits.
Wow, okay.
And it goes beyond just a nice smell, that strong, spicy scent. It's said to affect the subtle body immediately. Now, for this source, the subtle body isn't just some vague idea. It's like the immediate energetic field that picks up these vibrations. And this scent is supposed to awaken awareness, clear your mind, open up perception. The source actually calls this spiritual science long before aromatherapy had a name, suggesting, really old understanding of vibrational effect.
And the smoke itself had a job too, right? Something about pushing out negativity.
Yeah, exactly. To push out the unseen heavy vibration, things like hidden jealousy, built up resentment, stuck psychic energy. It's painted as this active, energetic cleanser, like sweeping out the unseen clutter in a space.
Which brings us to the big question. How? How is this supposed to work? The source claims the smoke carries an invisible pattern affecting the energy of anyone in it. How does that bridge from scent to energy?
Right, and this is where the source tries to connect the old ways with maybe how we might think today. It points out that, modern science now recognizes that aromas aren't just smells, they're frequency. It specifically mentions eugenol. That's the main compound in clove. And we know eugenol, right? It's got anesthetic, antimicrobial properties. Dentists sometimes use it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the source suggests that this specific frequency in eugenol isn't just killing germs, it's interacting with our energy field. And crucially, it says eugenol is believed to interact with the limbic system. That's the brain's emotional center.
Okay.
And this interaction isn't passive. It's presented as actively cleansing, not just the environment, but also memory, specifically memories of pain, betrayal, and abandonment. So the source suggests if you like clove and suddenly feel teary or get a wave of nostalgia, that's your soul letting go of burdens and active emotional relief.
Hey, wow, that's pretty deep. And beyond the emotional stuff, what other maybe more esoteric benefits does this talk about?
Well, it brings up this idea of astral larvae. Sounds intense, right? But it describes them as dense thoughts, negative emotional leftovers, acting like energetic parasites, like sticky bits on your energy field.
Right, not a pleasant image.
Not pleasant, no. And clove smoke, according to this source, is supposed to deactivate these patterns, literally burning away emotional heaviness. Plus, its frequency is also claimed to activate higher levels of consciousness, which is why it might be useful before meditation or channeling, things like that. It's said to create a psychic protective bubble.
So let's bring this back to the listener. If someone feels like they're dealing with, energetic attacks or just persistent negative thoughts, maybe heavy dreams, what does the source suggest clove can actually do?
It suggests that burning a clove is about clearing the unseen energies living there, not just the air itself. And it's also said to purify objects. Think about like heirloom jewelry charged with emotion, maybe from previous owners, or even just rooms that feel stagnant. The focus is really on energetic hygiene, less about woo-woo magic, more like practical upkeep for your energy, like cleaning your house, but for your energy field.
Energetic hygiene. I like that framing.
And this is really key. The source really hammers home the importance of intention. It says flat out, it's not the smoke alone that heals, but your intention combined with its energy that activates the field. So you have to be part of it. Your focus matters just as much as lighting the clove. It's a co-creation.
Okay, that makes sense. And that leads us right into this specific Saturday ritual. It's not just general cleansing, right? It's targeted. So why Saturday? What's special about Saturday?
Well, the source connects Saturday to the planet Saturn. And Saturn in this context is described as the planet of karma, time, unseen justice, things like that. It's not just astrology fluff for the source. It's presented as a day that activates a special frequency, making the Cloves effect deeper, more precise for certain issues. It's about timing.
Okay, and the specific issue it targets is hidden criticism. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, hidden criticism. It's about those whispered words, judgments maybe happening, lurking behind your back, or even just silent judgment, But that energy still travels. The source basically says every word carries energy and every energy needs a receiver. So if you're unknowingly soaking that up, it might show up physically. Headaches, maybe, or just feeling drained, discouraged without knowing why.
Right, that feeling when off. So how is the clove supposed to help with that specific on a Saturday?
So burned on a Saturday, the smoke is said to act like a vibrational antivirus. That's the term. Think of it like scanning your energy field. It supposedly cuts the subtle cords connecting your energy field to what's not yours. Described as spiraling, finding that criticism, that judgment, those mental toxins, and then snip, cutting the connection. It's not about fighting back, but detaching yourself from the energetic impact.
And the source gives really clear steps, right? For listeners who want to try this.
Yeah, very specific. You need 3 dried cloves, a charcoal ember like the kinds you use for incense, and a fireproof bowl, clay or metal. You light the charcoal, wait till it's ready, place the 3 cloves on it. Then, as the smoke rises, you walk through your home, repeating an affirmation. The one suggested is, all that was spoken without truth is dissolved. All that was thought without love is neutralized. Only the sacred may enter my field.
That's a powerful intention.
It really is. And the source suggests this is especially helpful for people who feel vulnerable to this stuff. Maybe facing family judgments, dealing with work conflicts, maybe public figures or artists.
Or people very active online.
Exact. Therapists, artists, anyone on social media. Basically anyone whose exposure leaves their energy field feeling a bit, open. And here's another layer. The source claims it's not just for external criticism. It might also help clear out the inner critic. Those old tapes, inherited doubts, childhood stuff like you're not enough. It tackles that too. A kind of internal and external cleanse.
That's really interesting, going beyond just the ritual. What about the deeper emotional side? The source calls clove an emotional.
Yeah, an emotional key that can open memories. It suggests the scent might trigger things unexpectedly. Tears, shivers, maybe fragments of memories that feel old, even older than this life.
Wow.
The idea is these things are stored deep, held in your skin, your gut, your unspoken voice, in archives hidden deep in your cell. It's working on the unconscious, apparently.
So like tapping into cellular memory.
Something like that, yeah. And it connects cloves specifically to the throat chakra, our center of expression, helping clear blocks, maybe inherited stuff that stops us from speaking our truth. And also the third eye, subtle perception. So it helps break programming, allowing you to see and speak more clearly. The source recommends using it before, say, writing, meditating, making big decisions, or during really tough emotional time. Grief, breakups, crises.
The source even suggests a practical
It does. Simple but potentially deep. Light a clove,
Yeah.
sit quietly, and just write down the question. What emotion still lives inside me that I've refused to face? Then just breathe it in, let the answer bubble up, no force.
That sounds powerful, and it mentions therapists are starting to use it again.
Yeah, it claims many therapists are rediscovering Clove, maybe as a first step in things like family constellations, hypnosis, emotional release work. And the source insists this isn't because they suddenly believe in magic, but because they've seen it work, helping people access stuff that was stuck.
Fascinating. Okay, one more area. What about protecting energy when we're asleep? That's when we often feel vulnerable.
Right. And the source calls Clove a powerful guardian during sleep. If you're having heavy dreams, restless nights, or just feel like your energy is too open when you sleep, maybe ticking up on collective stress, this suggestion is simple. Just place a bowl of whole cloves by your bed. No burning needed this time. They're supposed to act as silent guards, vibrational shield, just creating a protective boundary while you're in that receptive sleep state.
So bringing this all together as we wrap up, what's the big takeaway for listeners from all?
Well, the source really wants to drive home that using clove, like burning it, isn't just superstition. It's framed as tapping into ancestral memory. It's like making a ritual statement saying, in my energy, I decide who went. Its vibration is said to cut, seal, and protect, but not through force, through clarity. It reveals and unmasks unwanted influence.
I liked that analogy. It's used cleaning your physical house versus cleaning your energy home. It makes it relatable.
Exactly. And it tackles skepticism head on, saying, yeah, some might dismiss it as witchcraft or whatever, but it claims even skeptics feel the difference in a space where Clove has burned. Why? Because, and I love this line, Energy doesn't ask permission to be felt, just there.
Ha, that's a good line.
Isn't it? And the source really connects this ancient practice to now, saying, today, more than ever, we need these little shields. With everything coming at us, social media, collective anxiety, EMFs, shared stress, it's about learning to consciously close your energy, guard what's sacred, choose who enters, taking back some control over our inner space.
It's about energetic bounds.
Precisely. Ultimately, Clove is presented as this ancient pact with the unseen, a reminder that, small things can be huge.
Yeah.
That a simple ritual can restore the soul we've lost along the way. It's about showing up differently with presence, fire, intention, and silence.
Well, this has been quite the journey into the hidden power of Clove. Way beyond the spice rack, from ancient rites to modern energetic hygiene, really gives you a lot to think about.
It really does. And maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. In this world, it's just constantly throwing frequencies, words, thoughts at us. How often do we actually stop and consider the, unseen energetic edges of our own being? Is it possible our souls kind of remember these tools for protection, for cleansing, that we've just forgotten?
That's definitely something to mull over, maybe something to explore for yourself. You could try a small part of the ritual, perhaps. And, like the source suggests, just notice. Maybe your body will know before your mind does. Thanks for diving deep with us today.